Hello, hello. Hello and welcome. Okay, let me check. Do we have everything okay with sound this time? Seems that we are good. Okay. Oh, Rafael, hello. Nice to see you. Oh, well, we have so small comments. Let's make those bigger. Yeah, that looks about right. Bobby, you're going to sleep, really? Sorry to hear. So yeah, catch up in the record in reply. Hello, John, from sunny California. Nice, nice. Hello, Zano. Oh, Dave Live. Hello, nice to see you here. Hi, Thomas. Hey, Georgi. How I am combined gaming with playing, with coding. Yeah, let's keep that. Let's keep that for chat later. So today I would like to run through kind of, let's say, small. Let's say presentation. Basically, I would like to run through a few talking points about becoming programmer. That is kind often asked question, and so I would like to have recorded answer, and probably that will be helpful and interesting for you. And we'll see what kind of questions do you have, and let's catch on them during the chat and maybe after. Yeah. Oh, we have Ukraine, Lviv, hello. Hey, Nenad. One more Ukraine. Hey, Roman. Hey, Ramin. Yeah, am I doing case United course? I did that course is in two parts. Basically, I did part one, and my video about my MacBook was kind of part one for that course. For second part, I became sick. I got COVID, and yeah, that last week was kind of, I don't know, not very great, let's say so. But I'm good now. Yeah, I will catch up on that second part from that course. But that is good. That course teach absolutely nothing about YouTube as a business or something like that. But basically you get behind the scenes to see how Casey making his videos. And yeah, if that's what you would like to see and get from that course, that is exactly that. In my opinion, great course. That I got exactly what I wanted to get from this course. I would recommend that to everyone who would like to start something like vlog style videos, something like that. Mikhailo, hello. Okay, seems that I catched everyone. Said hello to everyone in the chat. Let's jump to I will run through my talking points, what I wanted to discuss today. And yeah, keep your questions coming if you have any. So basically today I would like to talk a little bit about how to become programmer, because that is kind of often asked question, and I see how that is unclear for any newcomer in the scene. And basically I'll say how five step process for that. And step number one in that process to become a developer is focus. Basically, you have to decide what exactly you want to do and focus on that niche, because programming is enormously wide area. There are plenty of things that you can do. And talking from my experience, for example, when I started studying computer science, I studied computer science. I have a bachelor degree in computer science, but currently I'm doing iOS development. So I learned everything on my own about iOS development. And I will give examples about iOS development, but basically that is applicable to any industry. So basically you have to choose whatever you would like to do. Is that mobile development? Is that web? Is that I don't know, maybe you would like to work with bitcoins and all that stuff, right? So my mistake, and I see other mistakes also, is that it's kind of trying to learn everything. Basically, I learned in university, I learned C, then I started to learn C++ for no reason, I don't know why. If I would wanted to work as C developer, that is enough. I can go and apply for jobs as C developer. I don't need to learn C++ for that as well, right? After that, I started to learn Java. Again, I don't know why. Then I started to learn PHP because my friend learned PHP and all that stuff. Basically, those are kind of random things. And I started to succeed when I decided what I want to do, and that was development for iOS platform. And I niched down and learned only that what was needed to start developing iOS applications. Basically, focused on one thing. And yeah. And also, of course, you have to understand for yourself what you would like to do. Would you like to be employee in company and work in company as programmer, or you would like to be a freelancer, or you would like to build your own business, build your own applications and so on? Because you need kind of different skill set for each of them, each of those kind of niches. Because as iOS developer, that is good that I know that I would like to be an iOS developer, for example, right? But again, there is question what you would like to do. Maybe you would like to work in Apple, maybe you would like to work in small startup, maybe in medium-sized company, maybe just freelancing, maybe building your own applications. Yeah, my suggestion anyways is always start working as employee, working in company for someone, because then you're working together with other devs, you have senior developers around, and you will learn much faster than comparing if you are just working as freelancer, one alone and all that stuff, right? Yeah, about databases and all that stuff, you have to look on, if you are looking on your project, you have to look what are your business needs and so on. For me personally, for my small projects, I try to avoid using online kind of database, any backend server. So far I'm happily avoid that. I'm using Realm database on iOS, looking forward to migrate that to the core data. That we can discuss very long. We can make very long discussion about that, why that and not this and so on. But yeah, for bigger freelance projects, usually there is backend development team, and they do care about all the backend stuff. And I frankly don't care what database is used, because as iOS developer, I'm working through API with this database. So. Yeah, really good suggestion. Yeah, exactly. Because learning new language is easy. For example, Swift, that is relatively easy to learn Swift. It is relatively easy to learn Kotlin for Android development, right? But all the ecosystem, all the libraries, all the connected parts, that is huge chunk to learn, and stick with something one, especially on the beginning. Okay, and yeah, learning, that is kind of second point. Yeah, as soon as you decided what you would like to learn, so you have to start learning. Ask someone who already working in that industry, which you are interested to get in, what resources they will recommend to you. I, as iOS developer, can recommend resources for iOS development. For example, if you would like to learn iOS development, that is kind of easy to suggest. Let me check. Yeah, this one. 100 days of Swift, hacking with Swift. That is great resource. Just go to that, start learning, and that is basically you will be covered for 100 days or less if you are going through this course faster. I will post it in comments in chat as well. So With that you will be covered for a few months at least, I don't know, 2 months that will take for you. You can go through that course, learn all the Swift UI and all that stuff. Of course, for iOS development there will be always question which one learn first, Swift UI or UI kit. For today I will say go with Swift UI and then catch up on UI kit, but take a look on market and companies where you are planning to work. If you are planning to apply for work in local companies and you know that most of those companies still using UI kit, you know what you have to learn, right? And how long did you study before getting your first job? So I will say about 6 to 9 months. We'll get to that. Let's move forward and we will get to that as well. For me, yeah, that was about that. That was about, I will say 9 months, something like that. Yeah, it's hard to say. It was for a while ago, and back then I was working in a day job and was learning programming in parallel, so that took for a while. So basically, I have a suggestion for you if you are going to learn iOS development. Hacking with Swift, great resource available for free, just take it and learn. If something else, ask for someone who is in that niche which you would like to learn, again, right? But then you have to start to build a stuff. And by building stuff, I mean you have to do something on your own. Because hacking yours with Swift, that 100 days course or whatever tutorial, just it is kind of easy to get into the tutorial trap when you are getting all the time new tutorials and just continue to go through those new tutorials. That is not healthy and not great, because you never will feel that you are kind of ready for work, and going through tutorials getting you kind of false feeling of learning, because if you will try to do something without tutorials, you will see that it is really hard and maybe almost impossible. Therefore, I suggest to you to jump off from those tutorials as soon as possible. Go through those, I don't know, that 100 days of Swift or whatever, some Python tutorial, whatever, and after that start to build your own stuff. And with building your own stuff, you are building your own portfolio, and that portfolio will be helpful for you whatever you will do next. If you would like to go to apply for jobs, you will need that portfolio. If you are going to go for freelance clients and looking for freelance projects, you will need portfolio as well, so that is necessary to build it. How to build it? Do whatever you like. That can be just GitHub, of course, but GitHub with your own projects. I don't have, let's say, fancy GitHub, but I have, for example, some projects which are tutorials as well. I have a YouTube tutorial there, and basically project screenshot, description, what this project do, something like that. Basically make something that you can show to customer, or customer will not go, for freelance customers will not go to the GitHub. Your potential employee could go, yeah, but for customer probably better make some website with portfolio and all that stuff. So basically start building your own applications. If you have applications in the App Store or real websites online which is built by you, perfect. That works perfectly for that. Yeah, so exactly, creating projects is better for you, but always you always will need to learn basics anyways, right? You can't just one day on the morning wake up, make coffee and start to create your own projects. You need some basics, you need to learn something, so some few tutorials, that is kind of necessary, right? It is kind of hard to say to me what is a kind of good portfolio for web developer, I would go and take a look on, for example, if I would like to become freelancer, I would go to the Upwork, Freelancer, Fiverr, whatever freelancing platform, take a look on freelancer which looks kind of interesting for me, and then I would like to kind of copy that freelancer success, get about the same hourly rate, about the same revenue, and I will take a look what this freelancer have in his portfolio, and I will try to replicate that. Not just copy exactly what there is, but basically that will give me understanding how good portfolio will look like. It's really hard to say what exactly should be for web developer. For us iOS developer, I will say if you have application which can fetch some data using API from the internet, then you show that in the application nicely in, I don't know, collection view or something like that. That is already good enough for junior developer. If you can keep your code in code repository and so on, so that is already okay, right? Yeah, and you have to run into the problems and solve them. With tutorials, problem is that you are just following whatever tutorial is saying you to do, and you are just copy pasting whatever is said. But when you build your own stuff, you are running into the problems and you are solving them, you are looking for solutions. And that is how we are learning. That works for me and that works for most of the developers, so most likely that will work for you as well. Basically, you are running into the roadblocks, you are solving them, and that's how you're learning. And later in the day job, that is actually what you are supposed to do. You will get some task, which is kind of your work task, and you will try to solve this problem. And that is just regular day-to-day work process. You are looking into documentation, you are looking into Stack Overflow, you are asking other developers for suggestions, and you are trying to solve this problem. That's basically is development work in the nutshell. And sooner you will get into that mindset, running into the problem, solving those, better for you. For iOS development, I would recommend, if you like to learn from books and if you like to learn reference materials, use reference materials, I will suggest to you, here is, yeah, that is my collection of books what I bought. Yeah, this one, Big Mountain Studio. Let me again copy link, paste it in the chat. Basically, Big Mountain Studio, that is really nice materials for iOS development. Currently, why I'm recommending it right now, because currently those books has 51% discount. That book author has birthday soonish, and yeah, I bought that bundle, $184. But check out, there is free book available. Just check out and take a look if you like this type of content. I like because those books, and I'm using in my programming live streams as a reference, because you can just search for specific thing what you're trying to solve, and there is picture how that will looks and code example how that should work, and basically that is really good reference documentation. But just Google your problems, Stack Overflow, all that stuff, solve problems. And yeah, as soon as you will have few projects done in that way, you will have your portfolio done. Next step is profit. Start earning money. Basically start applying for the jobs. Do not wait until you will be super ready and so on. That's also kind of big mistake from beginners, and also from me as well. When you are kind of waiting when you will be 100% ready, unlikely you will be 100% ready in any time in the future, because there are always coming new technologies coming out and so on, and there are always new things to learn. Oh, sorry, that's my dishwashing machine. Yeah, wake up. Let's give 5 seconds to it. So basically, you always will run into the problems, and you always will solve the problems, and that's totally fine. On freelancing jobs, when I saw that I can solve at least 17, if I see that I can solve about 17% of the project, I know how to solve about 17% of the project, I'm feeling confident that I will be able to finish that project as well. Because if I don't know 30% of the work, how to do that, I can find solutions for everything. And basically, yeah, do not wait too long. As soon as you have few examples of work in your portfolio, as soon as you build your own few projects already, start looking for jobs. If you are trying to apply for jobs, start looking for jobs, looking what is in job requirements, what they are asking. Do not just blindly read all requirements and think that, oh, if I don't know, for example, Objective-C, I can't apply. You still can apply, because companies are writing kind of that is their wish list. They like to have someone who know everything about anything, and they would like to pay junior salary to that guy, right? But in real life, it is so that they have to choose from whatever they have, right? And maybe you will be the best choice for them. So definitely try to go to the job interviews, apply for jobs, and find your kind of blind spots, what else you have to learn. Okay, that's my kind of short story. Let's do quick recap. So basically, focus, decide what exactly you would like to learn. Tech field is way too wide to learn everything. Focus on something small problem niche what you would like to solve. Then find resources what you like and ask for recommendations for someone who is already working in that industry which you would like to choose. Then build your portfolio, create stuff, try to make your products, solve the problems during the process, and then start to apply for the jobs, start to looking for freelance projects, or build your own products and try to get revenue from them. That's basically is 5 steps. Those are 5 steps how to get into the programming job. In my opinion, that depends, of course, of industry and your goals and so on. But it is totally doable from 0 to getting job in about 6 months. Yes, there are cases when people are trying to get into jobs for longer period, for a year or I don't know, maybe more, but 6 to 9 months is totally doable. Okay, that was my little TED talk about getting into the jobs, and let's jump to the questions if you have any. Yeah, and those who are watching this in record, this is the right moment to hit those like buttons. Okay, let's jump onto the questions. Okay, thanks, Ignas. So yeah, portfolio about web developer already answered. Yeah, there was one question how I combine gaming and coding. I'm not gaming much, to be frank, because I don't know. Running YouTube channels, it also takes a lot of time, and I really enjoy to do that. That is kind of hobby. I could game more, but then I will not publish videos. And running my Instagram, TikTok, whatever, all that stuff that I do, that also takes time. And yeah, it feels kind of wasting of the time for me as well. But when I play, I do not play often, but when I play, I just kind of recognize that I'm doing that for fun and for relaxation and all that stuff, and that is totally okay. You know, someone like to go to the gym, someone like to go for a run, whatever. Someone like to play games, someone like to watch Netflix. if it is, in my opinion, if that is balanced, for example, you decide that you would like to play games, I don't know, 4 hours in a week, or I don't know, hour or two in a day, whatever, that still sounds kind of reasonable, right? Because even few series on TV, it's also anyways about 2 hours, something like that. If you like to spend the time on games, where's the problem? I don't know. I don't see problem here. If you enjoy that, and everyone who how to relax, yeah. Okay, where did I study? I studied computer science here in Latvia. I'm living in Latvia, but actually that doesn't matter because I didn't use anything from my computer science in my current job. Okay. That is never-ending question about cross-platform. I will say that that definitely depends on market. I know that in India there is almost no native development work. Everything is cross-platform development. And if you are looking to apply for the jobs in local market and you see that everything is kind of cross-platform only, then definitely you better learn cross-platform development. But what is your goal, right? If you like to apply for a job in the company as developer, there are plenty of native work for the native developers. And usually those companies who are hiring native developers, they have bigger budgets, they can pay better salaries and so on. Because cross-platform development that always is compromise. Benefit from that is savings on development costs because one developer can do Android and iOS application. I personally don't like to be that one developer who is keeping all the company running. I better will work in team which makes iOS app only or Android app only. But so in my opinion, native development is better because also that is easier to learn, because if you're talking about cross-platform development, you always have something in the middle. Is that Flutter or whatever between native application and your development tools, basically. So yeah. Oh, that's interesting question about UX writer. Is it good major? Frankly, I don't know what they are studying, what they are doing. Can't say about that. Igor, new in the channel. Welcome. So, I'm working as consultant, freelancer, basically, but my contract is consultant and I'm working on long-term contracts. I just sent my termination letter and I will finish working with company for which I was working 4.5 years. So that's almost like employee, but we are in consultant and company agreement. So that is kind of in the middle between freelancing and working. But freelancing. Answered this one already. This is an interesting question. In my opinion, so everyone learns a little bit different. I really like books because in the books you can jump really quickly to some specific part of the book and it is easier to use later for kind of reference. For example, if I forgot how to make, I don't know, button, I can just open book and jump to that code example and see that immediately. If I am looking for the same information in course, I have to find in which video lecture that was, then scroll video to that place, then watch at least that part of the video. It's way longer. So I like books for that kind of information, for reference material. If I'm learning something completely new for me and I'm following some course, then I will say that video, because you can follow step by step whatever instructor is doing, and then video course works kind of well. So I will say I like both, but for different reasons. Yeah. That's what program for what? That is, I don't know. That is not kind of good question, because which is most popular for what, right? That is, we have to start what you would like to build. Basically, I have on my YouTube channel video about which programming language you should learn first. Basically, that is about that. You have to choose whatever you would like to do. If you would like to build web services, you don't care which programming language is popular between iOS developers. For iOS developers, that's Swift, right? So. I can say you about Baltics if you are asking hourly rate for junior freelance developer. Ignas, I will suggest you to focus on global market. That is beauty of being programmer, that you don't need to work in your local market. You can work in global market, and sky is the limit. So when I started on Upwork for very first projects, I charged $20 per hour, but I raised that price quite quickly, and Jara, hello. Hello, Canada. Nice place. Would like to visit. Once. Well, best tip to get a job. Getting job. That is kind of very wide question. Best tip: have a good portfolio and good communication skills. But that is that really depends on in what kind of company you would like to apply as well. For example, if you are going to apply in big tech companies, your portfolio maybe doesn't matter so much, because they are like to do all those let code tests and all that stuff. So basically, it's important how good you are in code puzzle solution solving. If you will apply to small and medium-sized companies, they are more interested in your experience. And for beginner, if you are asking this question, you are beginner. So and as you said, you are learning programming. So for beginner, I definitely will suggest you to apply to small and medium-sized companies. So basically, they will care about your experience, and to get experience, build projects. What I already said, build your projects. If you don't have any customer or whatever, you build your projects for yourself. And by projects, I do not mean just follow some courses and tutorials and post those on GitHub, but build your own. I don't know, if you are in web development, build website for yourself. If you are in mobile development, build mobile application for yourself. Whatever you would like to use, publish that to the App Store, and you will have huge experience basically to getting from idea to the App Store, or from website idea to publishing it and supporting and using it. And that basically I think that is kind of my suggestion to everyone who is getting to get first job. Oh, Marco, hey, nice to see you. Actually it's the same. I do not read books cover to cover. Usually, if I am getting book, I am more or less already know that kind of problem space, and I am looking for reference material, or just for some parts. I don't know. I studied Combine for Swift, and also I bought two books. One book from this one, Combine Mastery in Swift UI, that is from Big Mountain Studio, and another one was Practical Combine from Donny Walls. So I used those like reference materials and just jumped on parts what I was interested in how I do develop my ideas while I'm stuck with my payday projects. That is kind of question about how you make time for what is important. Your payday projects, anyways, you are spending, I don't know, maybe 6, maybe 8 hours per day working at your day job. You shouldn't work 10 or 12 hours on your day job. If those 8 hours, you have at least few hours in a day for your side projects, right? Just make that priority. Yes, that's also basically what I said on beginning. Also, do not wait while you will feel that you are 100% ready for applying to the jobs. Jump on job interviews. That is skill that you have to learn. Applying, getting through those job interviews. Yeah. And of course, yeah, if you have, I don't know, five companies around you and you would like to get job in one of them, yeah, maybe that is not good idea. As soon as you finish at first tutorial, go to interviewing to get interviews in each of them, but find sweet spot somewhere in the middle, yeah. Best way to get promotion. Usually, sadly, but it is so that usually you get promoted jumping between companies. Because if you are sitting in one company, usually that employer do not really care much about you. Of course, not everyone employer is the same, but basically, at the end of the day, companies are interested to earn money, and if you like to get promoted and get higher salary, it is easier to get bigger salary just switching companies. That is the fact, yeah. Even, yeah, I sent my cancellation letter that I'm just dropping this job. I also got offer for different contract, right? That's not the way how I suggest to do that. Just go to employer and say that I will leave company and see if you will get rise. But it is just fact that usually just sitting in one place, your rise will be relatively small. If you like to jump high, you have to switch companies. Where can find ideas for projects? I didn't use anything kind of specific, but I have a video actually about that. Let me open my YouTube channel. So yeah, this video was exactly about that. Basically how you can find ideas for new projects, but it sounds simple, but that is really hard, because you have to kind of find problems and help solve those problems, and that problem can be something that is problem for you, or that can be some user group which has problem, and you can find those user groups around you near you. Basically, I don't know, if you are learning programming, you have some problems, right, and you would like to solve them maybe, and you can build product for that. Or you can go to the user groups, I don't know, in Facebook, in Reddit and so on, and take a look what kind of problems you would like to solve, something like that, let's say. So check out that video. Yeah, Marco, same. Nice to see you. Yeah, and yeah, my co-working streams are out of the window totally, because currently I'm catching up on 2 freelance projects and closing kind of one of them till March, and basically, yeah, plenty of work, don't have much time to work on my own project. And yeah, in this and previous week, all the family got COVID. We are totally fine already, everything is okay, but yeah, everyone is at home, and basically only time when I can stream is late night. During the day it is just impossible. How many years I'm programming? I'm programming professionally since 2016. Until 2016 I did something on the side. I learned iOS development, I started freelancing, but in 2016 I dropped my day job and started freelancing full time. So I would say since then. Because if I will start to remember when I wrote first program in BASIC, it's, I don't know, 100 years ago. How I like new Mac? It's great machine. I don't like that dent in my Mac. But I can blame only myself about that. But Mac is great. It is really good, and besides that dent, all the other stuff is really nice. Currently, I'm streaming from that Mac. It runs 2 external monitors. I'm running stream. I did streaming and programming in the parallel on that Mac, and everything works really great. I really like that machine. It is a huge update from M1. Before I used M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch. That's a great machine, not bad, totally enough for programming, but this one is crazy fast. I love it, I really love it. Blaze, it's hard to say what's happening on the Upwork currently, because I didn't look for jobs for a while on Upwork. I'm hiring currently on help on Upwork. I'm acting as company on Upwork, but generally I started on Upwork when I started freelancing back in 2016. Then I see that Upwork looks about the same. Currently they are a little bit more greedy for money. They're asking money for applying for the jobs. When I started, that applying for jobs was free, but there was limited kind of tokens, whatever they named them, for applying for jobs, and projects was shitty back then as well, and everyone was looking for cheap developers back then as well. So, but I started there and I was doing fine there, but I definitely, of course, I suggest you as soon as possible to jump off from Upwork and find customers to work directly. That is easier said than do, but you will find the way. If you will start freelancing, you will find the way. And but Upwork and all those online job platforms, they are still kind of the biggest market places in the internet for jobs like that. There are a lot of customers. There are shitty customers, but there are great customers as well. I found quite a few great customers with okay European level salaries, and yeah, I'm still recommending trying Upwork, but do not expect that you easily will get jobs there. That will be hard. You will send hundreds of applications for jobs, and on beginning those projects usually are kind of not great. Yeah, we are totally okay now. That's fine. Yeah, thanks. Hey, my stack for development. Basically, I'm doing iOS development only, and for iOS development that is Swift, and I am still mixing Swift UI and UI kit. I'm working on one freelance project which is UI kit only. For the same customer we are building Swift UI application, and another project is currently is UI kit, and we just upgraded the minimum version to iOS 13, and in next release probably we will upgrade to iOS 14. So basically that means we can use Swift UI. That is my kind of stack. Swift UI, UI kit, also basics of iOS development. That's it. Objective-C, I know, of course, little bit. Of course, I learned it. I started iOS development relatively early, then Swift wasn't around yet, so yeah, I know Objective-C a little bit as well, but I do not use it. I didn't touch it for, I will say 3 years. Oh, thank you, Ignas. Thank you for coming on this channel and watching videos and providing feedback. Really appreciate that, guys. Yeah, that's new MacBook Pro is great. I'm a little bit worried that maybe I need M1 Max because I'm doing that streaming and also I'm editing videos. But for my needs, M1 Pro is totally good enough. Yeah, of course, more power always is better, but M1 Max would be $1,000 more, and that was kind of hard to decide to just throw that money for not a good reason. And I'm happy that I got M1 Pro. Yes, I'm using Figma. I used SketchUp for a while, but lately I'm using Figma mainly because free version of Figma is totally enough for me. Here in chat, I don't know, Mr. Blake usually are around, but I do not see, but maybe there is someone else from Germany. Yeah, about glasses. I have glasses, story about glasses. No, I do not, actually I do not need anymore my sound monitoring. Seems that sound is okay. I have computer glasses. Oh hell, they are dirty. But in my day-to-day job, I am not using them. I bought once computer glasses. I was working. It was on beginning on my freelancer career. I was working longer hours back then because I learned a lot and projects was not so profitable, so I had to work more to earn enough money and all that stuff. And in one day I got so horribly headaches, and I expected that is from looking at the screens, and I bought computer glasses, not those, but another one pair, and they didn't help a lot, and my head was exploding in second day as well. But then I realized that I just got cold, and that is symptom of cold. And that was it. And since then I'm not using those glasses. This pair was sent to me by someone. I don't remember which company it was. They sent those to me, but those are scratched already. My daughter played around with them, scratched them, and it is horrible to looking through them. So, and I do not see any pros or cons from using computer glasses. At what age? I was in and out with programming, but I would say that currently I'm 46. I would say that professionally I started programming in my very late 30s, and so basically I will say that I started to learn iOS development with Objective-C, and that was back in iOS 4, I don't know, 100 years ago, but I kind of dropped that. And then I restarted that when Swift was released in 2014. So that was in 2014, it's how many years ago? 10? A lot, yeah. So basically in my late 30s, I will say, I started to learn programming for real. But before that I was in computer science. I studied computer science and all that stuff, but I do not count that. So let's say late 30s, I started to learn iOS development and become developer for real. How do you get first clients outside freelance platforms? So, in my case, networking, that is the king, of course. Currently, for example, I have relatively big following on Instagram and this YouTube channel as well. So basically I'm getting DMs on Instagram if I would like to jump on some project and so on. That's happening. So I would say build social presence. Another thing is development kind of meeting groups. How we name those? I don't know. Basically, when currently no one meets in person, but back in nice times before COVID, everyone did those development meetings, and basically we had iOS developers meeting group here in Latvia. We never been more than 3 persons in those meetings because Latvia is small, iOS development niche is small, and yeah, basically that's it. But still, even from those 3 people, including myself, meeting there, I got one freelance project from person who I met on that meeting. Basically, he got project offer. He wasn't able to get that project, and he just asked me, "Would you like to get that customer?" I said, "Yeah, sure." Networking, basically. Yeah, as Raphael said, networking. Also, take a look some online groups, Facebook groups and so on. I joined iOS mobile developer Facebook group on Facebook, and there one company announced that they are doing online hackathon. Basically they were looking for employees, for consultants, not for employees but for consultants. And that was hackathon. Basically, you had to make a chat application using the same technologies what that company is using. And long story short, I won first place in that hackathon, and I got contract to work on this company's product as freelancer. That also works like that. So there is kind of no one solution. But yeah, there is one solution, that is networking. Max has worst battery life. Okay, so then I did the right choice, right? And 256 gigabyte. You are talking about SSD, right? Yeah, that's fine for developers, but I will say that you have to take a look on RAM. How much RAM do you have? Because that base machine will have 8 gigabytes of RAM, and that will be fine for beginning. But I will say that you need 16 gigabytes is kind of must-have for development, especially if you like to keep that machine around for a few years. Collaboration projects, open source, no. Design YouTube just for fun. I would say that no. Usually whatever I'm doing, that is just my test projects, what I'm doing just to test something or for fun. My side projects, which I'm building with hope to get some revenue or freelancing. Basically that is it, yeah. Didn't do any collaboration project. Even hackathon, that hackathon was on which I participated, that was kind of solo hackathon, that wasn't a team job. Yeah, if you're semi-retired, that's perfectly that's perfectly. If you don't need to apply for jobs, you can just learn whatever you enjoy to learn, build whatever you like to build. That's perfect, yeah. Okay, yeah, you are waiting for Mac Mini with M1 Max. Yeah, that's interesting. I would like to have that machine, M1 Mini with M1 Max and 32, maybe 64 gigabytes of RAM, but I hope that traveling will be the thing again, and I hope to travel those 6 to 8 weeks in a year, and then I need MacBook, yeah. But M1 Pro is good enough for me. Yes, if you have 16 gigabytes of RAM, it is still okay. I had 2015 MacBook Pro with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and RAM was kind of weak spot. I did test running. My daughter currently using MacBook Air from 2013 with 4 gigabytes of RAM. That machine still works, but 4 gigabytes of RAM. Basically, you can run Xcode only without anything else and build Xcode projects. It works very slowly, but it works. I did video about a year ago on my channel how cheap you can go with development machine. It is still usable for studying, I would say, today. But of course, that is not fun experience, yeah. That is not fun experience to work on that machine, yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. My voice is still, I don't know, not back to normal, but I'm good. I'm feeling okay. Yeah, MacBooks are, I don't know, never-ending machine. That MacBook Air from 2013 still have original battery. Of course, that holds just I don't know, a few minutes, but it still works. That question to Morris, not to me. My apps generates revenue. Yeah, more cores, more power. Exactly, yeah. And yeah, for programming, we do not need those GPU cores. Of course, if you do not do some machine learning model trainings, for example, yeah, but generally for programming. M1 Pro, in Apple tests, what they published, M1 Pro and M1 Max has exactly the same performance in Xcode. I care about Xcode, yeah. Yeah, 64 terabyte, crazy machine. It will cost a hand and a leg, right? If that is MacBook. But Mini, that could be affordable price. Yeah, it's interesting, especially if you do GPU heavy tasks like video editing, right? But for programming, again, M1 Pro is kind of enough, and if you like to have mobility, yeah, 64 gigabytes is crazy expensive, yeah. Yeah, display is really nice in the MacBook, and I wasn't sure how I will use my external monitors, but I already kind of get used at that. My cheap 32-inch monitor is not so bright or so colorful like 16-inch MacBook Pro screen is. It is how it is, yeah. I will wait until Apple will release something more affordable. But yeah, that HDR Pro monitor is way too expensive for me to buy that one. Oh, hi, IT на диване. Привет, good evening. So yeah, Mini sounds interesting, but for me that definitely is M1 Pro. In March I'm planning to go to Tenerife for 2 weeks, and summer again that will be 3 to 4 weeks somewhere outside Latvia, and usually I have to do some work or at least edit videos and all that stuff, so I need MacBook anyways. And 2 machine lifestyle, it is kind of okay, but it is just easier if with one machine. So yeah, and that's why I'm sticking with MacBook, and I didn't want to wait for mini release. Okay, we are close to 1 hour time mark. That is exactly what I was planned, so we kind of managed to run quickly through my slides and answer all the questions, seems so. I'm in 3-week streak with those weekly videos, so it looks promising. There is very high chance that we will have next live stream in a week, in the next week, in Wednesday, same time, same place. So profitability. It's hard to say about profits on Twitch because I didn't apply for Twitch affiliate program. I applied, but then I cancelled that contract because Twitch wants exclusive rights on your content for 24 hours. You can't use that content anywhere else, and Twitch owns your content. If you have this Twitch contract, basically they can do with your content whatever they like. Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you, and yeah, see you on the next regular video or on the next live stream. Thank you everyone for coming. Bye bye.